Here are two of the most grotesque moments of last night's Republican debate. Ben Carson and Donald Trump were asked in a very straightforward way if they support slaughtering civilians. Here are their answers.
We have a question on this war against ISIS and how you would fight and win this war. Here's the question from Facebook. Listen to this.
I'm Josh Jacob from Georgia Tech. Recently, Donald Trump mentioned that we must kill the families of ISIS members. However, this violates the principle of distinction between civilians and combatants in international law. So my question is, how would intentionally killing innocent civilians set us apart from ISIS?
Mr. Trump.
We have to be much tougher. We have to be much stronger than we've been. We have people that know what's going on. You take a look at just the attack in California the other day. There were numerous people, including the mother, that knew what was going on. They saw pipe bombs sitting all over the floor. They saw ammunition all over the place. They knew exactly what was going on. When you had the World Trade Center go, people were put into planes that were friends, family, girlfriends, and they were put into planes and they were sent back, for the most part, to Saudi Arabia. They knew what was going on. They went home and they wanted to watch their boyfriends on television. I would be very, very firm with families. And frankly, that will make people think, because they may not care much about their lives, but they do care, believe it or not, about their families' lives.
Donald, we're talking about ruthless things tonight. Carpet bombing, toughness, war. And people wonder, could you do that? Could you order airstrikes that would kill innocent children by not the scores, but the hundreds and the thousands? Could you wage war as a commander-in-chief?
Well, interestingly enough, you should see the eyes of some of those children when I say to them, we're going to have to open your head up and take out this tumor. They're not happy about it, believe me. And they don't like me very much at that point. But later on, they love me. Sometimes I sound like him. Later on, they really realize what's going on. And by the same token, you have to be able to look at the big picture and understand that it's actually merciful if you go ahead and finish the job rather than death by 1,000 pricks.
So you are okay with the deaths of thousands of innocent children and civilians? It's like...
You got it. You got it.
That is what war... Can you be as ruthless as Churchill was in prosecuting the war against the Nazis?
Ruthless is not necessarily the word I would use, but tough, resolute, understanding what the problems are, and understanding that the job of the President of the United States is to protect the people of this country and to do what is necessary in order to get it done.
Here's how you answer that question. Are you in favor of killing civilians on purpose? No. Next question. That's how any fundamentally decent, moral, ethical human being answers that. These guys did not do that. They did the opposite. Donald Trump had previously said, I want to target the families, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, mothers, grandmas, kids of ISIS. I want to target the families. I want to bomb the families. He said that before, and then he was asked again here. The question was crystal clear. And he's like, yeah, no, I didn't stutter. I'm doubling down. Ben Carson prodded him a little bit. And again, the specificity of the question, man, that really shows you the kind of people you're dealing with here. Because Hugh Hewitt said, not by the scores, by the hundreds, by the thousands, could you order the carpet bombing of innocent kids. It's better to do something fast and quick than death by 1,000 pinpricks or whatever the fuck he said. Okay. When I saw this, I was legit embarrassed for my country. That was absolutely grotesque and shameful. For those of you who don't know, terrorism is defined as violence against civilians for political or religious reasons. I do believe that killing civilians for a political reason to, go after ISIS and defeat the enemy, even though you just said kill the innocent people, not ISIS. So violence against civilians for a political reason, I do believe that fits the definition of terrorism. We have establishment Republican candidates, leaders in the Republican Party standing on stage advocating for terrorism, and you get thunderous applause from the cretins in the audience. It reminds me of that Star Wars scene. So this is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause. No, guys, actions are moral or immoral. Nobody's the good guy by definition. If you already decide, I'm the good guy no matter what I do, well, then isn't that fucking convenient? You get to do whatever you want. You get to kill people, rape people, whatever, and then you get to say, well, I'm still the good guy because I've already decided beforehand that I'm the good guy. No, I don't give a fuck what you've defined yourself as or what you call yourself. That's sloppy labeling. The way to accurately label somebody is to say your actions define who you are. So if you are the one who says, I am actively going to kill civilians, I'm doing it on purpose, I want to kill the civilians, well, then you're a morally abhorrent monster, and you are a bad guy. You agree with ISIS. You're not the opposite of ISIS. That's one of the things ISIS believes in wholeheartedly. What's supposed to separate us from ISIS is that they want to kill civilians, and we're supposed to not want to kill civilians. But here you have in the Republican Party, they say, no, yes, I will do that. I will purposefully kill civilians. How grotesque is that, man? How grotesque is that? Because right now, so it's one thing to just have legit, you can call it collateral damage. We think we're getting only a top ISIS guy, and then, oh my God, there was an innocent person in a room full of 8 ISIS guys, and we got an innocent person. That you can call collateral damage. Then there's another thing if it's, okay, we know we're gonna get civilians, but it's to get, like we always talk about with like a Taliban operative at a funeral where women and children are there, but you attack anyway. So that's not just collateral damage, that's in between massacring, slaughtering civilians and collateral damage. In my view, you're making a totally immoral decision. But still, people would say, well, at least he got the Taliban guy. Then you've gone full ISIS if you say, no, I'm going to target women, children, civilians. I'm going to carpet bomb kids. That's what I'm going to do. No, you are a terrorist. You are a bad person. You are immoral. You are unethical. And then furthermore, that's not going to help you fucking win, you idiots. That's counterproductive. There would be such a surge in people joining Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Al-Shabaab, Boko Haram, every jihadist group you can think of. Why? You just gave them fuel to come into places they weren't before and say, aren't those Americans fucking savages? Killing your aunt, your uncle, your grandma, your kid? Now, I know you might not agree with my religious philosophy or my political philosophy, but here's what I can guarantee you. I'll fucking protect you from these bad guys. Here's an AK-47. Let's get to work. And this is why there's been a net increase in terrorists since we started the war on terror. Think about that, man. The whole goal of the war on terror, eliminate terrorists or limit terrorists. The exact opposite happened. There are now more terrorists. There are more terrorists now. So it's just like the drug war. The idea was limit drugs or eliminate drugs. Now there's more drugs in circulation. It hasn't worked. The opposite happened. And one of the main reasons why is we killed so many civilians that you gave the Taliban, you gave jihadists an argument where they say, I'm going to look out for you. I'm going to look out for you. The Americans are against you. I'm here with you. The head of Al-Qaeda came out with a statement the other day saying, if the West keeps attacking in the Middle East, well, I'm calling for a truce. The head of Al-Qaeda said, let's have all the different groups. ISIS, who is their enemy now, let's have all the different jihadist groups, all the mujahideen come together and we fight against the evil West because we got to defeat them and then we can go back to fighting each other. This is what we're talking about. They don't even get it. They don't get that not only are they immoral and unethical and they're advocating for terrorism, they don't get that it's going to hurt your cause. So in every way, shape, and form, this was a grotesque display. Any fundamentally decent American should be embarrassed at this. This is not our values. This is un-American and wrong.